Today, Air India is one of the largest airlines in the country. It serves 84 domestic and international destinations. Recently, it has been bought by TAS from the Indian government for 1 billion rupees, and the work of modernizing it is also going on rapidly. India fleet has 128 narrow and wide-body aircraft in operation. But last year, they made a record by ordering 470 new aircraft, the world's largest aircraft order. The first commercial flight in India was run on 18 February 1911, only 99.7 kilometers between Allahabad and Naini. It was flown far away by pilot Henry Pecquet, along with 6,500 mail pieces in a huller by plane. By the end of the year, passenger planes also started flying over short distances. In 1912, Indian State Air Services, in collaboration with Imperial Airways, started the country's first international flight. Bombay Flying Club and Madreen Club at Madras Airport between 1920 and 30. JRD Tata, who is now known as the father of Indian civil aviation, was very interested in setting up his own airline in India. Hence, he himself flew the Pusmath aircraft in October 1932. Tata was able to start this service only when it got the contract from Imperial Airways to transport mail. Only then, Tata Soos was born. Apart from single-engine aircraft de Haval and Pushmats, there was also Leopard Moth in their fleet. Initially, they used to operate weekly airmail service. India had just started growing when it achieved independence, after which, just 1 year later, the government of India acquired stakes in 49 airlines. Due to socialist policies, the government started buying stakes in all the private airlines, then in the Indian Parliament, then in the air corporations. The act was passed in March 1953, after which 8 independent domestic airlines of the country, Deccan Airways, Airways India, Bharat Airways, Himalayan Aviation, Kalinga Airlines, Indian National Airways, Air Services of India and Air India were merged into 2 government-owned entities, Indian Airlines and Air India. Air India had all the international flights and domestic and regional in Indian Airlines. By 1977, the company was renamed Air India International Limited, which served many new destinations such as Nairobi, Kenya, and European cities such as Rome, Paris, and Dallas. It started operating Constellation L-1049. Jet aircraft was introduced in commercial airlines in 1960, and Air India became the first Asian airline to fly a jet. It was a Boeing 707-420 aircraft which was named Gauri Shankar. It became the first entity of India to fly a jet in the world. Air India used to roam around proudly presenting the country's flag. It was the first glimpse of India for many international people, which left a good impression in their minds due to its excellent service. The credit for this service goes to JRD Tata because of his meticulous attention to detail. After every flight, he used to send a letter to the top management giving his observations, encouragement, and strong criticism about the shortcomings that he wanted to improve. It was becoming increasingly popular over the years and was considered one of the leading airlines in the world. But its downfall was soon to come when in 1977, Prime Minister Morarji Desai asked Tata to resign from the post of chairman of Air India. For the last few years, differences were increasing between the Ministry of Civil Aviation and the Ministry of Civil Aviation, from operating the airlines to making it profitable. But because the previous Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was mostly in support of JRD Tata, he did not have to face much problem. But when emergency was lifted and new elections were called, Indira Gandhi's government got a big shock in the country when it got very few seats. Morarji Desai became the Prime Minister of the country and started changing many decisions of Indira Gandhi which he felt were against the country. Air India, which was built by JRD Tata with so much hard work and made it one of the best airlines in the world, now remained incomplete without its leader. Throughout the 1980s, performance and service kept falling. During this period, it also had to face many accidents and terrorist attacks. Being a flag carrier, Flight 182 was bombed in June 1985 near the coast of Ireland in the Atlantic Ocean. In 2004, Air India launched its own low-cost subsidiary, Air India Express. Its first services by name started from Thiruvananthapuram, Kochi and Kozhikode. The objective of launching it was to provide low-cost connectivity to nearby popular international routes like the Middle East and Southeast Asia. Till 2007, Air India operated mostly on international long routes. Earlier, Indian Airlines operated domestic and international short routes, but this changed after the launch of Air India Express. Seeing the increasing popularity of low-cost airlines across the world, Air India showed interest in it. It started operating mostly point-to-point flights. Whereas Air India uses a hub-and-spoke model, at the same time the government finalized the merger of Air India and Indian Airlines under Air India Limited. In 2006-07, the combined losses of these two airlines were 7,770 crores, which later increased to 20,000 crores. Air India ordered 470 new aircraft at the 2023 Paris Air Show. Nearly 60,000 crores were given to Airbus and Boeing. This made it the world's largest aircraft order in crores. It included 210 Airbus A320 family, 40 A350, 190 Boeing 737, 20 Boeing 787-9, and 10 Boeing 777-9 aircraft. The order of 737 MAX was then transferred to Air India Express. Operating a fleet of 170 aircraft in the next 5 years, restructuring Air India Express is now connecting smaller cities more and has left popular routes for Air India, which will feed into its long-haul network. The airline has also included in its menus updated, added premium economy seats in international and domestic routes, brought customer service in-house on some routes, and also improved employee organization. Air India is one of the largest airlines in India. They have their hub at Delhi's IGI airport, and many major cities like Mumbai, Bengaluru, Chennai, and Kolkata are their focus cities. Air India is also the largest international carrier in the country, with a market share of 18.6% in the domestic market. Air India in shares, 3 airlines come at number 2, 3 and 4. First Indigo with 63.3, then Air India with 9.8, then Vistara with 9.8, Air Asia with 7.1, and then SpiceJet with 4.4 and Akasa Air 4.2. India today is the third largest civil aviation market in the world after the USA and China. Become one of the airlines and subscribe to watch more such videos. Thank you.